Thanks for waiting for me, everyone. I know I haven't been on for a long time. We have quite a bit to show you. I put an image up that I need you to look at first. We have a lot to go through with Twodog today, but I want you to look at this first because it's a real picture. It's an image of something that was done here on Turtle Island. When we talk about who did what here, who are they? Forests that are gone are lost forever. That has cut down oxygen on our planet. We cannot restore that. These take hundreds of years to recover. This is what I want to start with. I have an image that I put in the chat of a tree. I want to talk about trees for a minute because it looks like we have giant trees here. Adults and children do not share the same perception. I put up some images showing people the difference of what you see and what you don't see. I see both because, I have a weird brain. But because the eyes see an ordered matrix, not as the world actually is, our eyes eventually become traitors to us. We are still in the blind age. We could be called, for the most part, I think people are sleepwalkers because the world is quite different than we've seen through the prism of habit and experience and what you've heard. By the age of 30, the prism acquires the status of a guardian in our minds. After 40, it gets worse in general, not everyone. So, old trees are a rarity now. What we think of as old are not. Again, look at the picture of who are they. It's a real picture. It is not imagination. It is not a fantasy. It is not BS. This was done by men. Men like your dad, your brother, you. Not different men. Same kind of men. So, old trees, they are actually accounted for. And you've heard on my show talking about the last 8 being killed. A lot of them are protected as natural monuments. So why did they say that all the forests, even in Siberia where they still have some big trees, even here in Canada where we still have some big trees, even in the United States where they have some big trees, are not older than 200 years? So where are the giants? More images that I put up that I'm questioning. Are these trees prehistoric? Was this done recently? And it'll seem odd because we're going to be talking about what people are calling protests, but I'm seeing them as the last protectors of planet Earth. So where are the giants? And I want to approach this issue from the other side, beginning at the Earth's poles, because Soviet biologists have discovered something strange, that the poles unnaturally have a quantity of water in the form of ice and snow, unnatural quantities of carbon dioxide dissolved in those oceans. This clearly adds to the latest general craze about global warming. And I'm not saying that climate change is not real, because it is. We have just celebrated the hottest recorded temperature on planet Earth 2 days in a row. But it clearly adds to the what is happening here. Warming in some spots, and we're about to get a winter that's unprecedented. But with some simple calculations, scientists claim that they have deduced a figure that says that recently there was a general warming in 99.9% of the Earth's biosphere. This is proven, this is happening, this is now. We know that the Earth goes through cycles. Normally cold, cool, warm, hot.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over again. Billions of years. Except for now. We have changed this now. What we're doing is exponentially changing the world. First it started slow. Maybe 500 years ago. But with the ice core data, what we have done in the last 40 years is changed from cold. We had our normal cold. We had our cool. We had our normal cool. We had our warm. We had our hot. Now it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Mm-hmm.
It's known that living cells are composed mainly of water. So the snow caps of the poles are nothing but a release of water organisms, in which the gaseous state migrated to the poles, then condensed in the form of precipitation, water, rain. Now think about it in a figure of 99.9%. Because in other words, what now? Water grows, calls, flies, swarms, swims, runs about the Earth at a volume of 20,000 times smaller than it was before this warming. This is all of the plants, animals, people together. There's a hitch, because biologists have divided this figure by an area of all the continents together, and it doesn't work. The figures that should work don't work now. There's not enough land, and the fact is, it shouldn't be anywhere else. And it turned out that it was a fault of a stereotype thinking, because our usual forests of 30-meter high trees sunk down like a virus in the minds of biologists, prevented quick unraveling of matter. If the plants don't fit in the width of what we have, we need a new idea. And all at once, everything changes. Because right now, we have what our planet looks like from space. Because after a year-long mission in space, American astronaut Scott Kelly gave Mother Earth a diagnosis based on what he could see from his vantage point, 250 miles above our planet. In short, he sees this planet as looking sickly, fragile. And his comments came during a live interview on CNN, and you could have watched it on the NASA page, talking about what he's seeing. He's seeing areas that have such a haze of pollution that it looks ill, unhealthy. Now, let's go back, and please scroll through the pictures that I put up, because it's important here. because we have changed things so fast. Look at the pictures, because a new theory needs to be grown that we have changed. And of course, they want to say they did it. But we want to blame kings, queens, because they are the ones that have changed this planet. I have to say, they don't pick up an axe. They will never pick up an axe. Maybe in the backyard, I guess, if they enjoy being rough and tumble. We do this. We build the boats. We're the boys that sail them. We're the ones who pick up arms and kill our brothers because some rich guy told us to. But we do it. And in general, we are not forced to do it. But look at the pictures of almost 100 men on one tree. That has changed the oxygen level on this planet forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the barbaric fall of the California redwoods. Now, this was just between 1880 and 1920. Where there's a few that miraculously survived the 1816 bombing of the planet. And it looks like we were bombed worldwide. Like it or not, something happened in 1816 that changed our climate forever, that changed our atmosphere forever, that changed what we're breathing forever. What it is, I don't know. Looks like a nuclear bomb to me. But imagine how many years you need to grow a tree like one of these that I have up. And then there was this creature that came with saws and axes. 1, 2, there was 3. The proportions of the trees obey a rule. They do. The diameter of a stump is approximately 3 times higher than the height of the woodcutter, in general. Just think. You go in the woods, and the height of which generally is no more than 30 meters, compared to the trees that I'm showing you from the 1800s, from 1920. We have nothing like this. We have fabulous forests then, fairy folk tales, drawn in cartoons. Forests like these are gone. They are gone forever. We are not getting them back. Thanks to these barbarians, thanks to these monsters, thanks to those they. Now I understand that it's just hired workers. They needed to feed their families. They received orders from above. But each woodcutter refused, if they refused a criminal order, because this is criminal, the forest would remain. And look at these pictures carefully here. If someone thinks that the forests were cut down just for timber, then I will hasten to dispel your naivete. The fact is that these old trees work as information storage, a database, a hard disk in the modern parlance. Everything that happens on this planet, the trees record it in information. It is a portal. Look at them when they're cut. Look at their circles. You can see what happened on the earth in those circles. I've even seen and heard recently that you can play them on an old record player. So a person with a good enough sensitivity, you can go in the forest, you can easily access information about the past by touching the tree. Maybe there's few people who can do that. And the few redwoods that the barbarians left alive, they have a fence around them. They call it reserve. I will go into this topic in detail another time. I just want you, if you get a chance, as we're talking, Twodog and I, to look at the pictures of what we know for sure was here. Scheme of things, not that long ago, they weren't. Now, when a man changes the land, it is changed forever. I know a lot of you guys know that I haven't been feeling well. I've been trying to post articles every day for you, and there has been a disaster every single day. Now, not long ago, our ancestors knew Cannonball River as Inyan Wakan,
Mm-hmm.
Kegapi, Wakpa. I think I got that pretty close. So it was called the river where the sacred stones are made. They knew the Missouri River as Min's Sosi, turbulent water. At the confluence of where two great rivers met was a giant whirlpool that created perfectly round stones. They were considered to be sacred. They were beautiful. The Missouri River is the Nile of our continent. The Great Niles, and I've talked before about the four great waters that are connected. This has been proven underground that they are connected, are being poisoned. Right now, Yellowstone, because of a spill 5 years ago, has certain sections completely closed off because it is beyond repair. In Canada, Saskatchewan, there is a 1 billion-gallon spill that may, within the next 20 years, make Saskatchewan unlivable. Look at a map. Look at Saskatchewan. Tell me this is not an issue. So, when the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers dredged the Cannonball River, altered its course, the river stopped making the sacred stones. The federal undertaking had adverse effects on the area, on religious, cultural significance to the people who had lived there for millennia. We have no idea what it means to not have those stones there. We will never again see this, not on this land ever again. When man changes land, it is changed forever. When those trees that you can look at pictures of, I hope you are looking, were cut down, we lost oxygen on this planet. That event dumbed us down. Without oxygen to your brain, you get stupid. So, when the U.S. Army of Engineers created dams to create hydroelectric power, the federal undertaking had adverse effect on a traditional landscape. Construction had begun north of Standing Rock. They didn't even bother to tell the people living there that they were going to do it. It wasn't until the water came that they realized they were flooding the river. Many sad stories from our relatives and communities that lived at that river bottom about the deep spiritual wound that it caused our grandfathers. And because the majority of people on this planet no longer think that things like that matter. Yeah, I don't care about your religion. I really don't. Whoever is listening, I don't care. But this I care about. When we lost the river bottom, you lost traditional foods. You lost traditional medicine. Caused people to become dependent on Indian healthcare service. Your healthcare service sucks ass.
Oh my God, yes.
Prior to that, there was no diabetes in that area. Not one person. There was no heart disease. There was no obesity in any of the people living by that river. The land between the Cannonball River and the Heart River north of them is sacred land, a historic place of commerce where even enemy tribes camped within the sight of each other peacefully because there was a reverence for this sacred space. In
Yes,
this
they did.
area, the sacred stones where the ancestors went to pray for good direction, for strength, for protection for the coming year, for the peace of the animals. The stones are still there. The people still go there today, although the majority of them have been scooped up and taken to museums because you'd rather look at something instead of look at something in a box instead of going outside and looking at it. That's why there's zoos, and they used to put people in them. So the entire route, the Dakota access pipeline, will have an adverse effect on sites, religious, cultural significance, but it will have an adverse effect the people of this continent, the people of this earth, because do you think cutting down those trees did not affect the entire planet? It did. We don't get them back. We can't stand together and hold hands and get those trees back. We can't get the river to make those stones again. We can't. We can't do that. So
Mhm.
wherever the buffalo roamed, our ancestors left evidence of their existence, the connection to everything in creation. The lands of the Oseti, Sakanwin, extend as far west as Wyoming, Montana, as far north as the Bush County in Canada,
Yes,
because your little lines are fabricated. And before I let Twodog take over, because I know he's chomping at the bit, because we've wanted to do this for a couple weeks now, I will show you how Canada and the United States do not exist. They are illegal. Anyway, as far east as the Great Lakes, as far south as Kansas, along this construction corridor, they are going to disturb ancestral burial places, sites of religious, cultural significance. For our relatives traveling to Standing Rock to pray with, support each other. Remember, you are on sacred land. Respect each other, watch over each other, be good relatives to each other, because what we are witnessing on this continent now is the final stand. We don't get these things back. This has nothing to do with, wow, it's like Bundy. This is not like freaking Bundy. This is about, would you like to breathe in and out ever again? Bundy. You need to freaking. Okay, I'm going to calm down. It's very
mm,
important what's going on right now because the Red Warrior camp, who actually sent a call out to what they say are the relatives from Black Lives Matter. They invited them. They're calling it the Red Warrior Camp. It is a movement. It is larger than any of us. It is larger than one group of people, one organization, or anything like this. This is more about stopping, more than stopping one pipeline. It's about dismantling a system that allows for pipelines to happen. Now, it's very important because United Nations ambassador has been sent. He's on his way. not sure if he's there yet, need to be aware because they now have a world treaty involved. No judge is a judge and jury on treaty. Treaty is world law. It is the law of the land for the Lakota, for the Nakota, for the Dakota. The Fort Laramie, 1851, 1868,
1868.
is in question. Treaties are not land title. It is not a deed, nor are they a land entitlement to a de facto United States of America or United States of America in Washington, D.C. Lawful notice to neglect the oath of office is to neglect the United States Constitution. To violate treaty is to violate the true law of this land. It is a violation of federal law. It is a violation of Indian law. Treaties don't give Indian rights. Treaties uphold the rights that the tribes never ceded. So let me give you some definitions here, in case you're not getting what's going on here. Treaty is a contract between two sovereign nations. The Constitution declares treaties to be the supreme law of the land. That has not changed. As such, they are superior to any kind of state law, to any kind of state constitution. And until 1871, treaties were the way in which the United States conducted relations with Indian tribes. Chief Justice John Marshall, the common law is the real law, enacted by the people, the supreme law of this land. Treaty, the code, the rules, the regulation, the policies, the statutes are not the law for the people. To conceal a fraud is to commit a fraud. This is Black's law. McNally versus United States. United States versus Dial. I can give you those numbers. It's proof that the United States is not a country under those two cases. Kaha versus United States and U.S. versus Bond. You cannot contradict in law. This place, this United States that I keep hearing people tell me was made on some sort of great idea, was made on genocide, was made by people who do not understand what the land is. They had already lost their heart. We need to pay attention because the Atlantic Sunrise Pipeline is already a disaster. It is a betrayal. We are so close to losing this land, these countries founded on genocide. And I've put up some things that you need to be reading. You need to be listening to because it's very important. This is not Bundy. These are people who have decided to dig in their heels. They've started even school at the No DAPL camp. As this pipeline resistance digs in, they are not leaving. They have not. This is not for fun. This is not so somebody can keep a piece of land. This is about whether or not our children can live anymore. Because right now, there is an all-out war on the native peoples. In Africa, the Bushmen, who are the oldest people we have on this planet right now, are being shot at from planes. Is the Queen doing it? No. People like you and me are doing it. In Brazil, in the Amazon, their Nile, by the way, that does connect up here, underground. is polluted beyond the scientists are using words like unrecoverable. You can't fix it when it's that broken because it's back to school time for everybody. And in Indian country, that includes the camp of the Sacred Stones in North Dakota. That's what they're calling it. I love that. The Defenders of the Water School. That's what they're calling it. Held its first class Monday morning. It's an effort is geared to primary students, ages like 7 to 18, but parents are encouraged to bring their younger ones, their older ones, to listen to this. It's been beautiful to see all the people stepping forward to help support the land, and I sent some money from all of us too. I don't have a lot, but you guys take care of me, and I gave them some too.
Yes, thank you, Tracey.
Oh, go ahead, Twodog. After this, it would just be me cussing, so you go on.
Here's the thing I'm going to do, Trace. If you want to join in on this conversation that I'm fixing to do, please feel free to do it. I'm going to spell it out for you.
Please.
Here's the deal. What they're doing in the Dakotas right now, they've actually had runners that went all the way to Washington, D.C. to talk with these people. Now, what Tracey stated, it's not the machine that did it. Man is doing it. We're doing it to each other. Now, what these people are doing, black, white, yellow, and red, that are coming together there to stand with the Indian people, is telling them this. What it's not if that pipeline breaks, it's when.
It's when.
And it's going to. Okay? It's not the machine, it's the man in the machine. Okay?
Yes.
Now, here's the point. What we're stating also, that if that oil leaks into your water, now it's going to go from part of North Dakota, from what I understand, all the way to Illinois, this pipeline. Now, what that's going to do is that if you can't drink oil, period. But what we're standing for also is black, white, yellow, red children. Our children's future relies on this. Okay? It's our children's future. Now, as far as the treaties are concerned, America had 499 treaties with Indian people and broke every one, and we did not break them. Indian people did not break the treaty. Now, the point is, in all aspects, if you think about it, the Treaty of 1868, Fort Laramie Treaty,
yes.
Here's the point with this. That was they're considered a sovereign nation. Nation-to-nation treaty.
Yes.
Okay? Now, what we're asking this government is to respect our water, respect our people, and respect our land. That's not being done when they do this.
No.
Now, if the Dakota and Lakota people say, we don't want this because it's on Lakota territory or Dakota territory, on these sovereign nations' territory, why are they going in and doing it? That's the main point. If another nation says no, if, say, America wanted to do something with England, just say, I'm going to do it, and England says no, you think America would do it? Or would there be a problem? Of course there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter, Tracey, is that we're standing for the sacred water, because if the water goes bad, the circle of life is broken and your children die. Is that what you want for your children's future? Your elders, your children, your life givers, that without the woman in general, you wouldn't be a nation in the first place. Now, the problem goes way back almost 600 years when they started taking without asking. I hate to say it here on Turtle Island, but that's pretty much how it started. And if you think about it, what this oil company and this nation is doing is taking the mother's life blood, wanting to take that and run it through the water to other places without asking the permission of the Dakota people. So, do you think there would be a problem? Well, yes, I stand in solidarity with the people that stand up for this, because if they say no, they shouldn't go through. That's that, period. Now, if you think about it, and I'm going to go with what Tracey's talked about too, with the great sacred trees here. Okay, for 1 second. Here we go. Floyd Red Crow Westerman, grandfather, bless your spirit in the sky world right now, also said that the tree and man have pretty much the same DNA. Now, here's what I mean by this. What the tree breathes out, the human and other animals upon this planet breathe in. When we breathe out, the trees breathe in. We breathe for each other. Now, if you cut the sacred trees down, it's common knowledge that you and your children are going to suffocate because we breathe for each other. The problem is man is causing this problem because they have forgotten that they, too, are nature. Nature is not fighting. Man is the only one that is. Period. We are getting to the point that we're sitting here letting other people run our life. And I'm just going to say this, Tracey. You can jump in if you want to for a second. A couple weeks ago, on my territory, I don't know if they think I'm going to South Dakota. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm glad you're mentioning this, because this is when you and I were talking behind the scenes, and I tried to get on live and couldn't.
Yes. Now this is the reason. I looked out my window, then I went out my door, and there was a military helicopter swooping down, looking and going over my house very low, and actually landed here. So they didn't really tell me anything, but they may know me quite well. Were they afraid I was going to go to South Dakota or what I'm doing? Who knows? But the point of it is, Tracey, that there was a military helicopter landed in my territory, right on my property. So what could that be? You know?
That was the day that I sent in your name, too, our donation to help the people.
Yes. Thank you, Tracey Ski, very much for that.
We had said that in back. Go on. Honey.
The point of it is, I'm going to say this as the Apache once said it. The Apache once said, what man has done, coyote done first. Now, what's that mean? Now, to us, the coyote can be a helper or a trickster. Okay, in my thinking, in my way, in a lot of nations' way. Now, what does man become by doing this? By cutting the trees down, by stealing the mother's lifeblood, which is the oil, destroying the water, messing and killing our relations. What these countries consider as stuff to help keep them rolling, the trees about the standing ones, as far as the trees are relations. We don't use them unless we have to, and then we tell the tree what we're going to do with it. We pray to that tree. Okay? We pray to the water. I just gave tobacco offering to the water, and that just this morning. Now, the thing about it is, mankind is forgetting the tribal understanding, and mankind is forgetting and forgot that they, too, are nature, just as the trees, the air, the water, the land. We are the land in many ways. Okay? So we have forgotten this thing. Now, what they're doing in many aspects, and you watch the world media, and this is what kills me right now about this protest and other things when it considers to indigenous people here on America's side of Turtle Island. Okay, none of this has been covered except a station called HNL or something like that. It did set with interview Miss Three Legs from the Dakota Nation, but that's the only one I've seen, and they have not been back on since. Now, this is the point. If you think we're invisible, go ahead and think the Indian nations are invisible if you want, because we're very much alive. And to me, a nation is never defeated till the hearts of the women lay upon the ground, and mine are not on the ground yet. But what they're actually stating, Tracey, I did hear that they are talking, the government, from my understanding, is talking about putting boots on the ground at that protest, say, I think National Guard or something like that, because they say that it's not a peaceful protest. We're going to cause a malfunction violently.
Yes,
and there has not been a violent protest. It is not a violent protest at all.
It hasn't been, and if you go to traceelementsradio.com, you can see from the very first day how there were boots on the ground, how they absolutely infiltrated, how they've circled around these guys. This is not Bundy. These are Native men, Native women.
Mm-hmm.
And, people of all nations fighting for this land. Completely different. And they've even had people walking around with signs on them saying, "We are not armed." If Native people had a gun in there armed, they'd already be dead.
Yes.
Bundy and his boys could. Natives can't, because it's something real.
Now, if you look at this, I add with you, Tracey, for just a second. When you looked at the Bundy thing, okay, the Bundy protest, these people were armed.
Yeah.
They had guns.
Yep.
Now, our people right now do not hold a weapon in this protest right now. There's not been a firearm, period.
And they cut off water and tried to stop food from coming in there. And they knew there were kids, too.
Yes. Now, This is one thing I did see, and I advise you to go look on YouTube at the Dakota pipeline protest and check this out. Now, what I actually seen was an Indian woman. She had a flag up, and she was standing up. She wasn't in the policeman's face. She actually had her back to the police. The flag was waving, and she was there. That's it. Really on her side of the protest. And the police pulled her down, immediately arrested her. It's her right to protest. If you have a right to protest, why are they coming in to that particular position just to arrest a woman because she cares about the water and the future of her children and this mother? Is that what that was about? Now, the point being, what I say to the police is this. Who are you standing for? Do you stand for the right, or do you stand for the ones that are killing your children? Because really, that's what they're doing to cops' kids too right now, if you think about it. Because if the water's bad, what's your children going to do in their future? What's my child going to do in hers? Tracey, what's your child going to do in his future if the water goes bad and he can't drink it? It's the same deal. You can't drink oil. You can't eat money. Money has become a god to these people. The green frog skin is a god. If you ain't got it, you don't live. Simple. It's worldwide. Now, let me jump with you for 1 second, Tracey. I did hear this from what you said with shooting the African people with out of planes and stuff like this. Let's go a little further. There was a forest, okay, great big world forest, great big wide. I think it was in Brazil. I'm going to go there for a second. There was actually a chief that come out of there that has never even laid eyes on a white man in his life. Okay? Probably the nation has never even seen a white man.
Okay, I heard that. I guess it's working. We are going to be right back. If you want to take a break, got more news for you, and I'll tell you more about what's happening in Canada and the spills on all of the pipelines on this continent. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Trace Elements Radio, live with Tracey and Chief Charles Twodog. I want to thank you all for listening today, and let me give you a bit of news. Patty Walking Turtle will be joining us. As soon as I get my sea legs back, for a while, I'll just be doing the Tuesday shows. Although there's always going to be news and stuff on. It'll take a while. But I feel good. I feel good today. It's wonderful to be on with you. Are you still with us, Twodog?
Yes, honey, I'm still here, and you sound great, and you know me. I'm going to be with you to the end, girl.
Yeah, Twodog contacted me every day to see how I was doing. Mostly, I wasn't really even able to talk much. I was lying down.
Mm-hmm.
But, what's happening here? North Dakota's 840,000 gallon oil spill last year has changed North Dakota forever. Now, you would think the mother's blood on the outside would be the same as it's in the earth, but it is not. It is not. The crude oil spilled from the pipeline soaked into wheat fields in North Dakota. The public heard almost nothing about it. After the spill was discovered by a lone farmer, because of course the people who actually did the spill said nothing, it was not told nationally for 2 weeks. Only after reporters from Associated Press asked about it specifically. Now, 1 year later, environmentalists say North Dakota's oil spill reporting process has improved. I don't know how. But North Dakota's shale, more than 1.2 million barrels of oil are produced every day. Spills from wells and pipelines happened also daily. And the real reason that this is such a problem is they're almost never reported. They happen all the time. And by all accounts, think about it. The year-old 20,000 barrel spill, this one place, is one of the largest onshore spills in U.S. history. The company, who owns a pipeline, said the spill was caused by a lightning strike. It was a freak act of nature. And to this day, the farmland is sopping with oil. It has not been cleaned up. The ground is saturated with oil. It will be there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And they're saying words like forever. Forever is a mighty long time. We would say, if you have 1,000,000 years, the earth will clean it up. You and I don't have 1,000,000 years. Our children don't have 1,000,000 years. Our grandchildren don't have 1,000,000 years. They will not survive this. And by all accounts, we have screwed this planet so much that in the developed world, there's a negative birth rate. The only people who are still even producing children, who are still fertile, are the people who are the poorest on this planet, and we are stealing from them. Twodog and I can be on live today because of a mineral in my computer and in the cell phones that is being stolen from people from Africa. I realize this. They are suffering for me. What we really need to look at, yes, we can think good thoughts, think happy thoughts, because, everyone's been sending me love and light and all that lovely things. But, darlings, if we can't get men and women not to go to work in those mines, we will not change this. If we can't get men and women not to sign up as soldiers, we cannot stop this. If we cannot get men and women to not be miners, to not be doctors, and doctors aren't special magical fairy people. They are not aliens. They are people like you and me. To stop prescribing what they already know are dangerous drugs. We will not stop this. And it's very hard, and I understand this, to tell a man or woman, don't feed your family. But it's the only way. And it can't happen in 10 years. It can't happen in 5 years. It would have to happen now. Because the people who are really talking about this, the scientists who are pretty much being killed for talking about this, for people like Twodog and I who are telling you the truth, and even though I do tell you a lot of fairy tales, what I'm trying to tell you now is the truth, and most people don't want to hear it. They want to hear about some freaking Anunnaki or what Jesus said. We just watched the Hunger Games with a great big statue of Tammuz over top, and they think that's Jesus. Hashtag that ain't Jesus, my brothers and sisters. That's Tammuz, and it's the exact same image you're going to find in Africa. How we got to a place where we got a bunch of Europeans to believe that an African religion that they don't understand is their guy. I don't know. How the Europeans got sent out for money or to escape because they were freaking butchered on their continent to force other people to believe in a religion that has nothing to do with them. How I hear Native men and women talking about 13 clan mothers and how we are magically some sort of North African, because North African makes it sound less black, I guess, descendants. Oh my God, people. We're spilling the same crap from our mouths. It's not true at all. We have over 500 tribes, people here. They're not have anything to do with Tamuzi or Jesus or whatever you want to call your little caped crusader. You might as well call him Batman because he's not real. Their religions are not real. Most of your alien talk is from not that long ago, as a matter of fact, and the CIA pushed that through. I'll talk to you about that maybe in the next little while. We want to believe in all this, and yes, people all over the world say they met aliens. Pretty much the same story. We get gifts, we sell out, there's running and screaming, we kick their asses off the planet. The weird thing is, if you've gone on vacation, which I'm sure people have, you don't leave things behind that you want to take, like people. So when people say, I'm alien, I'm like, really? So your people didn't want you. I'm not sure I want you here either. They left you like an old cup. So, what Twodog and I would like to do for the next little while is tell you the truth. It will not be pretty. It will not be as fanciful as a lot of my shows. But I care whether or not I have grandchildren. I do. And if we're on a planet, which we are, where most of the people are sterile, that's a problem. That's a problem. Where people who are following some Abrahamic twisted religion that's not even from their continent are mutilating women all over the world and care about if we wear too much clothes or we're not wearing enough clothes or, Shut up. Men need to, first of all, shut up about what we're wearing and stand beside us so we remember that we used to love you. Maybe we can sort this out if people remember that they loved each other, that men and women
I'm going to add to that. I'm going to add to that, Tracey.
Please do, because I'm getting
I wish to add to just what you just said.
Thank you.
With myself, as a man, ladies, I don't care what you're wearing. I care about you. In other words, the male and the female need to start working together for the benefit of the whole, period, or there won't be no whole, if you get my point. There won't be, I agree with Tracey, because I want to be a grandfather one day. It might not happen. That scares me, because we need to continue. We continued on Turtle Island for over 130,000 years. Now, I'm going to relate to this with you, Tracey, for just 1 second. We've heard of the 13th. We are the lost tribe of Israel, the 13th tribe, okay? How could we be that lost tribe when we've always been here before they even got lost?
We've been here, guys.
We've been here.
Been here.
It's what my people have always told me.
Yes.
Now, the big thing is, that's the big word, discover. Well, you can't discover some place where somebody's already at. Period. And is this a new world? No. We've always been here.
Always been here. We've had people from all over the world that, yes, did come here. We've had white people and Chinese people and black people, every other
Yes.
kind of people that came here because,
Yes.
as soon as we're not running and screaming, we build boats and we visit each other. You want to talk about the aliens? Let's talk about the aliens. The aliens are the new group of people who would rather believe that some space god fairy gave them some sort of intuition than they got it from their mums and their dads.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost your soul when you start believing in that crap. Because it takes any responsibility, because people are really good at not looking at what's going on and saying, that rich guy made me do this. He didn't make you do this. You did this. You're doing this. You're making a choice. We need to make a choice right now to be better. To be honest, I don't see it happening. I don't. I can see a couple of us. We are standing up. We are trying to see. I see these men and women standing at this pipeline. I also see them being surrounded by cops. I see them being surrounded by military right from the first day. And if you go through our page, I will show you pictures of them being infiltrated. And those guys are cops. 100%. Cops, military. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It would take us as a people standing up in a way that I have not seen ever. Look back at the image I showed of who are they. Those men smiling because they made some money on that tree. On that tree that cut down, stopped providing oxygen for the planet. I don't see that stopping. I don't. I wish I could.
You ever heard of world murder?
No.
In a way, if you cut down that tree, that's murder.
That's murder. Look at the size of that freaking tree. Look at those guys standing on it. Look at those guys sitting on the top of it. We didn't see what the limbs looked like. That was only 100 years ago, guys, that we had trees like that. We had a forest like that. That forest, we don't know spiritually. We don't know what that tree did for us. How it would have allowed its roots, because we do know that trees communicate with other trees, sometimes thousands of miles away. So that one tree could have been connected to all the trees on the planet that were giving us oxygen, sharing knowledge with us. We are not those people who lived at that time. We're not even them. We're not even our grandparents. We're not. We can't be. It's not possible, guys, because of trees like that being killed. So, talking about the last stand, that's what's going on right now. The last stand, our last battle, because a few natives all over the world, because people are coming out of the bush, and that's the death cry. As soon as people find you, you're done. That's what this teaching is.
Can I relay that, Tracey, for just a
Please
second?
do.
What I was going to do
I know
right
you were
before the
going
break.
there, so please.
Yeah, please, honey. Thank you very much. Let me explain something. At one time, I found out through a Comanche brother of mine that deals with deals with a lot of people like that from over there. They were cutting down the rainforest, is what was happening. Now, this leader He came out of the rainforest, and honest to goodness, Tracy, he's never seen a white man in his life. Never even run across one. As soon as he came out to find out what was happening to his forest, they hung him. He's dead now. So, you kill a brother because you want to cut down your oxygen. Because what? Oh, leaf litters, the trees that make paper and everything else. Okay, you're cutting our relations down. That's actually breathing for each other. I just wanted to relay you that they, honest to God, hung this man to death because he couldn't figure out what the heck they were doing. Why were you doing it? So that's another point, Tracy. It's not the rope, baby. Man did that.
Men did that. And if the tree breathes out, and we need that to breathe in, obviously we're connected. Obviously it's important. Obviously it means something. We don't know the information that tree was giving us. The information that is no longer in existence on planet Earth because trees like that are gone. They're gone. You are not this spiritual being that your grandparents were because of those trees. You can't be. We live in a closed environment, and when things are gone, we suffer. We are smaller because of it. We are not the same because of that. We are on our last breath because of it.
Life. It's the circle of life, guys.
Trees are a big deal.
Trees are the thing. I got old trees out here that are old. If you touch them, I'm going to touch you back. That's just it. But here's the thing. The circle of life in itself. Guys, what are we not getting? What are you not getting? You know good and well that if the trees are no more, you suffocate. If the water goes bad, you can't drink it, you die. Any part of the circle of life is gone will hurt you. You too are part of that life. You too are part of this nature. Mankind has forgotten that they think they're over nature. Money has become a god. Money has become their god.
Money. And even when our brothers and sisters make the choices to feed their family, and I even get that part of it. We are put at the edge to make the choice. Do you feed your family or not? And 9 times out of 10, we can't blame the boys for doing this. The men, our brothers, our, boyfriends, our husbands, for doing this. They're going to make the choice to keep us alive. They're going to do that. And they've done it. And it's changed this planet. It's changed this planet where the scientists who are speaking about it are saying we can't turn back. It's too late. But even if it is, I go screaming into the darkness. You're going to hear me talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't even care if we are pucked beyond retrieval. I don't even care. I'm going to fight. I'm going to yell. I can't do shit right now. It's a big deal when I can pull up my own pants. Which I do. I have pants on today, so, don't be scared. But I came back because I was pissed. I came back also because one of our listeners said, Tracy, you need to look for something. And, I love a puzzle. And he said, when there's a problem at Yellowstone, know that it will be caused by terrorists. Nothing like that has come out on the news or anything, but there is a spill. There's one that happened 5 years ago, but it doesn't explain the algae or the dead fish that have happened a couple days ago. I'm looking into it. It makes no sense, but I've connected some things that are interesting. And he said if that happens, you got to come back. There's a combination of events that he told me to look for. And this is one of the few people on this planet that I will listen to when they talk about prophetic events, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And 4 of them have already happened, so I'm losing my mind right now. Because it's so scary. It is so scary. What's happening in Saskatchewan? Do you guys remember, in 2012 when I went on that adventure and I went up to Watrous? That mystical lake is spoiled now. Like forever. It's completely poisoned. This lake had actually natural oil in it. Not like this. It's looking like Saskatchewan is done. It will be slow because they don't know all the effects of what their drilling chemicals meeting with our oil chemicals do. But for me, guys, it's terrifying. This was a place I wanted to go back. I got stronger and feeling better. You can tell by the passion back in my voice. But I wanted to go back there and lay in these waters and get, healed. Right now, the water damage in Prince Albert, Saskatoon area, has been spilling. It's been spilling for a month. So let me tell you, I too was chomping at the bit because every single day I've been away, something horrible happened. Horrible.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing, a weird thing, it's probably not even the weirdest thing. There's 10,000 weird things that I haven't even told you about. They dug up this deadly bacteria from a reindeer carcass that had been frozen. It's no longer frozen because, believe it or not, it's thawed now. Mm-hmm. This is like zombie anthrax. It was covered for so long that we have nothing like it. We have no immunity in our body to fight this thing. The thawing permafrost, this alone could unleash something because at this point, 84 people died from it. And we're getting some really weird outbreaks in the last 2 weeks because this thing's in the air now. Because it had been sitting there thawing before the scientists got to it. Luckily, we got some German brothers and sisters, not German, Russian brothers and sisters who are actually talking about it. This thing is airborne now. This could be enough to say, we're done. We got nothing. We have nothing to fight this. Not in our bodies, not in our special magic toolkits. Nothing. We had a weird heroin overdose where over 100, I think it's up to 185 people died in 6 days in Cincinnati from a drug.
Yep.
Heroin is not a good thing. If it wasn't cut like we cut everything, it shouldn't have been a problem because we're used to opiates and people of all nations like to get high. We always have. But there are some really weird events. There have been zombie events. I mean, face-eating, dancing, naked zombie events. So let me tell you, I'm excited to come back because it's weird, but it's a little cool. Twodog?
You know, Tracy, uh, a lot of this trouble, a lot of this trouble that you see is that we the human beings getting to the point that, I mean, just the main human being, is that we can't take this crap no more. Systems are breaking down. Uh, One in high office thinks they are over you. Okay, I speak for you. No, you don't. I speak for me. You didn't. I didn't vote for you to speak for me. It's like one chief in Canada once said, "You've been trying for over 100 years to take care of us.
Yeah,
But the
please.
only one that can take care of us is us."
Yeah. We don't know. Of course, we blame ourselves for a lot of this, but we don't know if those trees that were humongous were holding up the atmosphere in a way we don't understand, that were keeping us safe in a way we don't understand. Because our scientists who have lost their soul, because the whole part of the science that they give us now is about don't feel anything. If you feel something, pretend you don't feel it or medicate it.
Right.
Or, let's put you in the hospital and give you a couple thousand volts, see if it goes away. We don't know what that's done. Climate change could have been started by this. We know that Rome's building of weapons changed the climate of the planet. We know this. That's scheme of things not that long ago.
Right.
This 6,000 year cycle, this one, has changed this planet in such unprecedented ways we have no idea. We want to get this back. We got to grow those trees. How do we grow those trees in a place that we have changed agriculture when we used to have like actual farmers who were like men and women who actually went out and grew all kinds of different stuff? We don't grow different stuff. We've picked one crop and we grow the shit out of it.
Right.
We'll grow
You're
one
right.
strain of fruit. We'll grow one strain of bananas. There used to be thousands of kinds of bananas. Now we grow the shit out of one. We don't know what chemicals and enzymes we're missing, what that tree gave off that probably fed us in ways we don't get.
We don't. A lot of people, Tracy, that I think we have forgot. A lot of people have forgotten how to be tribal. Period. And it's always this me, mine, I thing that keeps rolling too. It used to be we, us, ours. Okay,
Yeah,
and this mother is ours, and so goes the mother, so goes all life.
yeah.
Are we willing to kill the mother for a dollar bill?
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
we're already starving to death. We just don't
Oh
understand.
yes,
People are
yes,
eating huge amounts of food, not because they want to, guys, but because our food has nothing in it. They're starving. We're hungry. Our people are hungry because the food, in the most part, is not touched by human hands. We have no one touching the real seeds. We are not taking part in the preparing of the meals. We are not sitting with our family and our elders where we're telling stories, where we are limbs from the same tree, limbs from the same root, part of this thing. We don't know what we've done wrong. It would take so much effort. And I get that. It's frustrating.
yes. I agree with you. We are these limbs from the same root. We are the tree.
We are
Okay.
the tree. We breathe in. They breathe out. They die. We die. We are dead a little bit because of the loss of trees like that. We are not what we were. It's obvious to me that I'm not even as strong as my parents. My mom is starting to run. She's under 70. She looks freaking fantastic. You've seen my dad. He looks like he's in his 40s. I look like I'm freaking dying here. Why?
Yeah, he does.
He does. He's, you know, naughty too. This freaking has
He's the man.
powers, this guy.
You
I
know, to
thought
me,
that's
when I did that interview with him, he's the man.
You guys are a hoot together.
I love him very, very much. But you're right, Tracy. You know, it's like my father is 78 years old, still doing what I had a major stroke, but he's still doing anything he wants to do.
My
I'm
grandmother in her
57
80s
and
is
can barely
stronger
move.
than I was.
You know, I'm 57 and can barely move.
Yeah. Freaking falling apart. It pissed me off.
So what's that telling you for your children? What's going to happen is their lifespan going to be slower?
Have a problem. Yeah, guys. We have a problem. Brothers and
It's not.
sisters, the aliens aren't going to save us.
It's not the point. The point here's the point that I look at, Tracy. The only one that's going to save you and save your relations is that we get off the couch and go to the ones that are causing the problem and say no more. Don't you think?
SaveYourOwnMess.com. Yeah, I'm with you. Patty's excited too, guys. She's excited. She's sent me links in the background. People are excited. They've missed us, Twodog. I feel good. I feel really good. I feel stronger that you guys have missed me. I'm so glad you did.
I'm so glad that you're back. I mean, it's been a blessing.
I
It's
thought
actually
no one would notice, and I'd come on, and then I was going to go outside and eat some worms and cry. But see, I don't have to do that. It's very exciting.
well, you know, it's a blessing for me because I've sent many prayers smoke up for you.
I know you have.
And
I know you have. I'm grateful.
I ride with you all the time. Whatever you want to do, I seem to back you up on everything. So I'm so happy to see you back riding this horse.
Hey, if anyone wants to join us, I have a Brazilian articles and stuff, but if anyone would like to join the conversation today, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. I'd like to hear what you think because, my God, guys, look at our planet. How many times do I have to give talks about they surrounded a 10-year-old boy in the United States, said that he looked like a 20-year-old guy, and cops, grown men, surrounded him with guns, loaded in his face. He was crying. He's a baby.
I mean, my God.
And, I realize the cops are all roided up, but those are men. How have they lost their way this much?
I gotta say something real quick too, Tracy, because I've been listening to this, and I've been listening to this individual. His name is I can't really catch his name, but he's one of the quarterbacks for San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
49ers
lost their minds because he didn't stand up.
But everybody's done lost their mind on this. But I'm going to say this while I'm on air. I totally back and support this individual because he refuses to stand up when they do the Pledge of Allegiance. The NFL, all of them do it because of he says he can't hold up to a flag that is killing people of color here. So Americans are killing Americans. They're doing it, Tracy. They just killed a man because he had both his hands up laying on the ground with an autistic child, and they blew his head off. So,
yeah.
But here's the point that this quarterback is saying. Until we get to the point that we're not killing ourselves,
yeah,
there is no unity here.
No.
until that changes, he's going to keep setting. So
It's going to keep
I
happening.
can't. I gotta hold honor to him.
Yeah, I do. And I realize that Twodog and I talk about flags, but you have to understand we're talking about people standing up. We don't care what nation you're from. It's
No.
yes, if you're representing yourself by a nation and you're representing it, yes.
Now let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. I've just got the 39th flag just came in as far as Tennessee,
You're up to
the
30.
state flag. So here's what I'm
It's a big
saying.
freaking deal, guys.
Here's what I'm saying. I honor nations around the world right now. Matter of fact, I got the 39th flag just came in. But
That's awesome.
it's like this. It's not not the flag, but it's the intent behind the flag.
Yes.
Okay?
The intent.
Now, if you really want to talk about it straight up,
please.
Now, straight up, America in itself was built on murder and genocide. Look at the nations.
Yeah.
Without, my God, we don't even have the Yahi Nation in California anymore.
When they
because they hunted them like deer.
When they started sending the Europeans over, they sent them with no food. They were sending you to die. They were sending you far, far away because they didn't want you.
Look at Australia. Look at Australia and the Aboriginal people there.
They wanted you to die there. They were not helping you. They were not thinking about your religious freedom. They wanted you dead. And they were hoping you'd infect and kill the people that you were in contact with. That's it. They hated you. They put your asses on boats because they hated you. This is not like when the Inuit visited Scotland twice. This is proven now. Although the Inuit have been saying it forever, and now we got to say that it's proven because scientists say that. They told us they did that. They told us they had contact, the Micmac said, had contact with China. A giant. It wasn't a god. It was a guy who was 7 foot tall in the Chinese army, a real man.
Right.
Who came over and built some stuff and shared his knowledge. This is the way of our people. Our people. I don't care what little shade of your skin is. Our people like each other. And we have been told that we don't. We do. Yes, we do. In our very nature, because we are part of the trees who tell each other thousands of miles away, there's a problem. We are that, guys.
Right.
We are part of the Mother Earth. I put up a picture on my Facebook, Trace Elements Radio, that I'm going to put on the page, that you need to see this woman. This woman who gets bullied every day because of her looks. She has one green eye, one very dark eye. She has that skin coloring they call an illness that makes your skin light in some places. So some of her skin looks like that Nordic white where, their hair is so light that you can see through it. Almost, that really fine hair look and fine colored skin. To me, I looked at this picture and that was another sign that I was told to look for. She is like Tiamat. She is like the mother who is showing everything. It is important that you see this image, everyone, because she proves where we are from. Not some friggin' alien thing that came down here. And I'm not saying there weren't alien things that came down here, but she represents all of us, and she's alive now. I think we should all be sending her friggin' gifts and hope that she really isn't the Tiamat and coming here to judge, because she's going to be ticked off a lot, because we've screwed this place up. How could we screw up a place this bad in 40 years? This beauty. How could we do it in 100? How could we do it in 500? How could we do it in 1,000? And that's what we've
Right.
done. We are the worst that has ever lived on this planet. We are. And I'm not blaming white people or black people or even kings and queens, because they would not be kings and queens if we did not allow that crap to go on.
Right on.
We have family. We have mothers. We have grandparents. These are the ancestors. These are the ancient ones. Some of us still have them alive. We are from them, people. We are the power. We are the glory. We don't need some freaking fairy thing that will never contact us because it doesn't want us. Why would anything alien want us? Why would even the majority of beings on this
If
planet want us?
if you think about it, Tracy, let's roll with this for a second. If you were aliens from outer space, let's go like this, and you honest to freaking God, seeing what man is doing with man and their environment and everything, they're destroying each other, they're destroying the environment, they're destroying everything. And wars and war and war and war, as all these war dogs are talking about, why in God's name would you want to even land here?
If someone from this planet is looking down and saying, our planet looks sick, an alien's going to realize, look what these beings have done to their planet.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
would they want anything to do with us?
Exactly.
You know, we are starting to see animals acting more intelligently, trying to contact us, going against their very nature so that they can communicate and look in our eyes, and they're begging us.
Oh God, yes.
Animals, when even
You ought to see out
scientists
here that
say
you
it,
ought to see out here when they do that with me. They're all over here.
we have
I've
certain
got
kinds of
animals that
whales that
don't
are now
come near.
saving
I got
the
animals that don't
mammals.
come near here, Tracy.
Mm.
They're not used to being around mankind at all. They jump, they run. I got them in my front yard now, and they're just looking at me.
We have
I've had
animals.
hummingbirds land in my hand.
Yes.
What do you think they're trying to tell you?
We have animals and people who know that if they are seen by us, they're they're close to extinction. I don't
Hmm.
think uncontacted tribes have missed what's going on this planet because they haven't talked to us. They're smart because you stay far away from us. Animals that are smart stay far away from us. And even they are risking their lives right now to try to communicate, look us in the eyes. There are crows and ravens learning to speak,
Yes.
begging us to see.
Now, when a crow and a raven start speaking English, okay, and actually talking to you, what do you think's going on? What do you think's going down? Something really, really heavy. The fact that I see Tracy is I'm not looking at my European brothers and saying, no, 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 I don't want to be around you, or my black brothers, or my Asian brothers, or my Indian brothers either. Okay? The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we've met, all of us, and let's look at it this way. Do you, when you come home, do you not love your wife or your husband, and do you not hug your kids, kiss your kids, play with your kids, talk with your family during dinner time, and having a good time with each other? Say you're European from England, and do you not do that? Well, I do here on Turtle Island as well. Okay? I
We
do
do
the
the
same.
same. We do the same.
So
We are
we're
the
not
same.
that different.
We are the same, guys. And we're struggling in the same way for the
Yes.
same reasons.
Yes.
We have been hurt. We are traumatized. We are not traumatized because of some alien culture. We are traumatized because of the things we've allowed to happen here. We have sold out. We need to get our hearts back. Like Tecumseh said, where's your heart?
Mm.
And every time when we start fighting as brothers and sisters together, remembering who we are, who and what we are, every time it's not some weird stranger that causes the problem, really. It's one of our own people. Every time that stabs us in the back for a couple bucks, a couple shekels, a couple whatever. Every time we get a chance to get better, somebody sells out on our own side. Every time.
It
We
is.
have been our own worst enemy. We.
Yes. Yes, we have. Now, to be honest, Tracy, in my lifetime, I'm going to be honest with you. I look at every scar I've got on me, that is a medal to me as a warrior. It truthfully is. It's a medal. But the point being, if I hadn't stood up and spoke out when it was wrong, how would I be able to live with myself? I couldn't. The fact of the matter is, we all need to look at each other's heart, one mind, one spirit, and stand up to these war dogs that we see every day. And Trump is fixing to be the biggest
Yeah,
in
Trump's that's a hot mess.
time of
What's going on in
history.
the States?
In this time of history, Trump will be the worst war dog ever. Now, when the world starts looking at one mind, one heart, one spirit and saying, no more. Now, you know the peace movement that I'm on right now, and you know the peace journey that I'm on.
I do.
But we cannot get this peace if everybody that wants peace don't start talking up and say no more. Okay? We can't do it. You can't do it unless you stand in your own power. You think I'm afraid if they kill me? You can kill my body, you're not going to stop my spirit, man. But here's the point, Tracy. Our messages, our words from our heart that we're spelling out right now, Tracy, and this is you too, honey.
Me and you.
It's going to continue.
We're not done yet.
No, I'm not done till Creator tells me I'm done.
It ain't
And
over.
I ain't done
It
yet.
ain't over. But we need to look the monster in the face, guys. I know what I say sounds really negative, but you cannot get your strength out by ignoring the darkness. You can't ignore the darkness, guys. You
No.
need to look at it in the face. You have to see it, and you have to take responsibility for what we've done. I'm again looking at that picture of these 100 men sitting on this felled tree, all smiled. Because, they were busy starving the white Americans at the time. And I get that. And getting a job, you're happy, right? You feed your family. But that tree, and we don't know how many they took down before that.
Right.
Nothing like that has grown back.
Right.
We are not the same because of these men. Are they monsters? Are they barbarians? Are they a virus that has infected us? No, they are we.
They are us.
They are us.
Now, only thing they honestly did was take the money because they got to
They took the
feed
money.
their family.
They took the money. Guys, that was a fast 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for hanging in there and waiting for me. I love you guys. And Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll probably be back before because Patty's like, yes, do my show. So we're going to do her show. We're going to talk to you.